Is Utopia of the Seas really the world's biggest weekend? I don't know. Let's talk about it.
I'm Sam.
And I'm Samara.
Welcome to our channel. Once again, if you love traveling, but especially cruising, this is the channel for you. So please like, subscribe, and share for future content. Is Utopia of the Seas actually the world's biggest weekend? Utopia of the Seas is an Oasis class ship for Royal Caribbean. It is right now the second largest ship in the world. It has roughly 8 neighborhoods, 21 dining options, and 5 pools. We recently sailed on Utopia of the Seas for a 4-night cruise, and the ports of call was Nassau, Bahamas, and Perfect Day at Coco Cay, which is Royal Caribbean's private island.
So let's talk about the Embarkation Day. This was our first time on a Royal Caribbean ship, but we did do Celebrity before. So we because Celebrity is owned by Royal Caribbean's corporation, we had a feeling that it was going to be very similar.
Very similar.
We did book this sailing almost last minute, like literally like 4 weeks before we were set to set sail. So we did not get the earliest boarding time we would have preferred, but we did get 12:30, I believe, was our arrival time. And so, but I did see videos that said that even if you get there early, they may let you on. So
and they did.
Yes. And so we used cruise control as our transportation, and because of the 45-minute commute from Orlando Airport to Port Canaveral, we was like, we'll go with the earlier time, and if we have to wait, we'd rather be there early and wait than get there super late and have to wait around at the hotel. That was just our preference.
Right. And it turned out to be a great choice.
Some people may not want to do that. So with that being said, like my husband just said, it turned out to be an amazing choice because we got there like literally right before, I think we got picked up around 9ish, and we got there right before 10 o'clock, and they were already boarding. And they just told us to walk right through. It was super cool, super easy. We went through security and we were on the ship in less than 10 minutes. It wasn't just us, it was us, our children, our 2 friends, and their children. So that's 4 children, 4 adults. And we went through security and everything and checked in. We probably spent more time taking pictures of everything than actually going through the process of the check-in.
It was actually a ghost town. When we got there, there was hardly any other customers there.
Yeah, and we were on the ship. I've never been on the ship that early at all, even with an earlier boarding time. Like we were on the ship before 10:30, and that was crazy because for us to be able to board the ship before 10:30 means that they had that ship cleared off and ready to be received before 10:30. So I thought that was super cool. We did the usual stuff. Muster drill, got that over with very quickly, and then our rooms are ready at 1. So Embarkation, perfect.
All right, for the part that you all want to hear most about, the food. And I would say the Windjammer, which is the buffet area for the Royal Caribbean Utopia of the Seas, did have a higher end selection than I've had on other buffets. I was not disappointed. I mean, similar to our review on Celebrity, their buffet is superior to the other cruise lines I've been on. Now, once again, we understand that there's 5,000-6,000 people on the ship. So it can get a little crowded in the Windjammer if you're there when the peak time, when everyone else is there, whether that's breakfast, lunch, or dinner. If you try to get there as soon as they let the food out for breakfast, lunch, or dinner, you may have a better chance of getting your food and get out of the way. Yeah. But the quality of the food was pretty good. They had a variety of options. They had one of the best parts I like about the Windjammer is the options of like drinks outside of water, which they had fruit punch and sometimes like mango or other lemonades,
pineapple.
Yeah, so that if you're not a big like pop drinker, or you don't feel like you have to buy your virgin daiquiri every time, those fruit punch options and lemonade options really help you at least to have some type of flavor when you eat your lunch or dinner.
On Embarkation Day, and I want to say the day before we got off the ship, they had like seafood options. Like they had like lobster tails and crab, I want to say crab legs, things like that. And that's cool if you're a seafood person, like, you know, because those things can be seen to be like more higher end specialty dining options sometimes, and you don't always see those options in the general buffet on a cruise ship. Now, one thing I kind of don't like, they have that Coke freestyle machine, and in case you do want to get like soda or something, if I was on a regular cruise line, I can go to the bar or order from someone. But because they have the Coke's freestyle machines, you feel like if I can just walk up here and get fruit punch or whatever from the regular machines, I should be able to do it at the Coke freestyle. But you can't use it unless you purchase a drink package, which comes with that specialty cup that operates that machine. And I just think that's like this, give me an option where I can swipe my card and then I get a
That's
regular cup and I can still get Coke, and I'll just pay for it by the ounces or however they choose to divvy it out or whatever.
Besides the Windjammer, we did try a couple of other complimentary options. We tried the main dining room, Sorrento's, Cafe
Pizza.
Promenade, Doghouse, El Loco Fresh. Our son, every day we asked him, like, what do y'all want to eat? Pizza.
Sorrento's. I don't think the line was too bad. I don't know if you went during the time where it was bad. I feel like it was a couple times you just walk right up there and just get what you need.
Most times at their pizza place,
because it's like a real restaurant.
It was real short. Like, but actually a couple times I just lucked out because I got there, nobody was in line. I got there and got my pizza, and before I got my pizza and walked away, there was a huge line behind me.
Big again. Yeah.
So if I would have took 2 more minutes, I would have been in a long line. So it just depends.
Yeah, but I think overall it's still pretty quick compared to other. It's in an actual restaurant, so it's like set up a little bit better, a little bit. It has like actual seating in there for you to sit and things like that. But it also had that Coke freestyle machine that nobody could use, and then so unless you had the cup, and then they didn't have no other drink availability besides water. Like
I said, there are a couple complimentary restaurants we tried, but there are also some we didn't try. So when you all go, maybe you should try it and kind of get a sense of it for yourself. I don't think we tried this Lorium Bistro. We didn't try the Park Cafe Vitality. Is it called Cafe?
Yeah, Vitality Cafe. I think that's inside the spa.
Yeah, Coastal Kitchen and Johnny Rockets. Johnny Rockets is only complimentary, I believe, for breakfast.
Yeah, and our friends did go for breakfast, and they said it was pretty good, whatever. But it's not complimentary for lunch or dinner. So, but you know, it's a specialty restaurant, so you understand it.
They have specialty restaurants as well. I don't think we tried any of those.
No, we did not take advantage of it. This was, like I said, we booked it last minute. It was kind of like we just trying to just go and experience the ship. We didn't do a lot of things that added costs. So the specialty restaurants that are on board, if you choose to, it's like the basic ones, like that comes with most Royal Caribbean, especially Oasis class ships. 150 Central Park, the Chef's Table, Chops Grill, Giovanni's Italian Kitchen, Izumi in the Park, Hooked Seafood, Playmakers, Mason Jar, the Royal Railway is like a new immersive experience that comes along with the Utopia of the Seas. And then also you got, like you said, Johnny Rockets is available for specialty dining for lunch and dinner. And then they have a Starbucks on board too. I believe most Oasis class ships. This is our first time on Royal, especially Oasis class ships. So I'm pretty sure this is available on other ships.
So they have a lot of bars. I mean, I'm not really a big drinker, so I don't really care about bars at all. But for you all that enjoys a drink or two or whatever you may, they have a variety of bars. From what I hear from the reviews and other people on the ship, they enjoyed most of the bars.
I did get a drink on Embarkation Day at the Pesky Parrot, and it was pretty good. And then I also got a drink at, what was it? La Lime and Coconut. And now, me and my friend, I got us both a drink, like some type of watermelon margarita, I think it was. And that drink was strong. It was very strong. And that was the only time I got a drink there, and it was on the last day. So I'm not sure if that has something to do kind of with cause sometimes on the last day the drinks are a little bit more stronger, but that was definitely one of the strongest drinks. Because it was just a margarita. And I had another drink that was strong at another location inside the music hall, but that was a different story.
So the part that we like to talk about the most is entertainment, the activities. Oasis class ships have kind of like a neighborhood setup, and this ship has a lot of things to do. A lot. And we've been on Carnival's XL class ships, and they have things to do, but this ship definitely has a lot of things to do. But they have the Royal Promenade, the Boardwalk, Entertainment Zone, Pool and Sports Zone, Central Park, Youth Zone, Vitality Spa and Fitness, and Sweet Neighborhood. In the Entertainment Zone, and that's one that has most of the stuff you probably do.
I mean, I just want to take a quick second. I don't want to glaze over though. That Entertainment Zone. Like, we did things we've never done before on a cruise ship. We played laser tag. Never did that before on a cruise ship.
Laser tag was a pretty dope experience.
We also, like, those shows were like the first show we saw was All In. We did that the first night.
Is that the one?
That's the one that was on the stage. It's like the production level show, and it was kind of like a music review of different types of music and stuff like that. The drones.
If you go to the show, just wait for the drone part.
It was really cool. We definitely enjoyed it, and we thought that was amazing. And I feel like every show we went to kind of like elevated from there. We did Aqua 82, like I said, first time on an Oasis class ship, so we've never seen that Aqua show before.
Aqua show was amazing.
Aqua show was really amazing. And then we went to the ice skating show, Utopia. Like,
ice skating show was pretty. Those shows were the best shows I've seen at sea.
Yeah, it was enjoyable. It was just enjoyable.
If shows is your thing.
Yeah, but I feel like even if shows aren't your thing, you can enjoy any one of those. And then, you know, we did the adult only shows. We've seen like the version of Quest on other cruise lines, so that wasn't something, but we enjoyed it or whatever. Battle of the Sexes was a new one for us. Actually, and you participated in that one.
Oh, I did. At the game I played, we lost to the women, but that's neither here nor there. If you can, on the app, try to register or sign up to get in earlier before the cruise start. There's 6,000 people on the ship, right? And when the shows were starting, they had someone at the doors checking and letting people in first who had reservations. Make your reservations so you can get in and get you a seat.
And like I said, that's something you can do beforehand on like he said, on the app. We're used to just on other cruise lines going to a show, you just eat dinner and then you decide if you're gonna go in the moment. And then you can still kind of do that if you make your reservation, because we had anytime dining, we was able to schedule our dining time around our reservation if we chose to go eat in the dining room. And then if you don't get in there, you can also just get there really early and wait in that line of people who do not have reservations. And then usually they have a room for the overflow.
Right.
It's just, you just don't get in before everyone else who has a reservation. And then after a certain point, like even if you have a reservation, I think about 10 minutes before the show starts, they let everybody else in. So if you are not there, just because you have a reservation, you still need to get there more than 10 minutes before the show starts to be able to get in first. And like he said, like the other stuff, pool, sports zone, the Abyss slide.
Yes.
The dry slide was cool. We did that. The pools were heated. That was super.
That was clutch.
That was nice.
We did have an situation with my son ingesting water and then exhaling food and stuff, and they had to close that pool down. That pool was closed down for like 6 hours because my son threw up in it. People
just filtered to the other pools around, but I'm also happy to see that when something like that happens, they're on top of it and they handle it. And
to be honest with you, even though it was an inconvenience, the fact that the lifeguard was watching and then he saw it immediately when it happened, like I'm like, dang. But that's good that he's watching because he's doing his job. So
but and then the Central Park zone is beautiful. We took pictures. We did some family pictures down there with the lights and the greenery, and it really feels like you're in a park. I just love how when you're in a neighborhood or in an area, it feels like you're in that area.
Different part of the show.
The boardwalk area felt like you're at a boardwalk. It had the carousel and
the wooden floors.
And then it has the dog house, like the hot dog place and Johnny Rockets and then Playmaker. And then they did the family thing on one day where it was kind of like a family carnival kind of feel, when they had cotton candy and popcorn.
Limbo.
And the kids played games and got face painted and then they was able to win prizes. It was just like, okay, like
it was a good time.
It was a good time. Like we were there for 4 days, but entertainment wise,
that boardwalk situation actually made you feel like you were actually not on the ship. So it brought in another aspect of real life, pier life, basically to a ship. And it really felt like we were on a pier and just having fun.
Especially with the open air. It just was really cool. Like it has a rock climbing wall.
That's a brilliant design.
It was really cool. The youth zones were also amazing. We messed up because when we walked around the ship doing like a little tour of the ship with the kids, the guy let us see the teens club even though we didn't have any teens with us, and they were so amazed by the teens club that when we took them to the kids to the actual, what was it called, Adventure Ocean, the kids camp for like the younger kids, they were like, this is underwhelming. But you know, they had video games and our sons, where is a video game, they're happy or whatever, so they were content with that. They didn't have any issues with that, whatever. And as far as the spa goes, I think we might have walked in there
Yeah, we didn't spy anything.
But we didn't spy or work out or anything of that nature. The closest we might have got to relaxation was that for like a quick, short period of time, we did go to Solarium. We went to the Solarium. Yeah, we did go to the Solarium for a little bit just to like walk around it and stuff. And then we went there for like, they had the toga party in there on the last night or whatever.
Silent disco
toga party. That's what it was. And so we did that or whatever. And that was in the Solarium too on the last night.
So, staterooms. On this particular cruise, we had a balcony room on a pretty decent deck. Mm-hmm. So it was a great experience. As always, I think I prefer a balcony, of course.
I get the hype around it.
I get it because it just, sometimes when you want open air or you want to lay out in the sun or you want to listen to water, you don't have to go upstairs and deal with 4,000 people. You can just sit on your balcony. In like an old couple, kind of just sitting on your porch. But, you know, I like that vibe, but also my children love the balcony and I always get a great picture of my son on the balcony. But they really love it. And especially when you get into port, like we did in Nassau, you can sit on your balcony and look at all the other ships and people on the Disney ship, right? It gives you a good people watching, you know, experience as well. Yeah. The only drawback that I had from the balcony room on Royal Caribbean, Utopia Seas, is the trundle bed. Is this?
Yeah.
I didn't really feel that because the couch is right by the sliding doors to the balcony. And the trundle bed comes out from below it.
So when you have 4 people in a room, bed either comes from the ceiling or that bed opens up into like a bunk bed. This one was like a regular sofa bed on the couch. And then underneath was a trundle that pulled out. Now, what I did figure out in my own research, because we had an ocean view balcony. They have different balcony categories on this ship. They have an ocean view, which is like the traditional balcony. Then you also have the Central Park balcony, which overlooks the Central Park area,
or the boardwalk.
And I believe in those 2 areas, that balcony room is set up differently to where the couch is not next to the balcony, but the bed is. So that in that layout, it may be more roomier for the trundle bed. So, you know, the other room categories on the ship are the interior, you have in the deluxe interior room, they have the ocean view rooms with just the portholes, and like I said, all the balcony rooms already. And then of course you have the suites, and then you have like the C class and the star class and the C class, and then in the sky, did I say C twice? I meant C, sky, and star are the 3 classes. And those all come with different perks. Some of them come with butlers and concierge and different things like that. So if you want to splurge and you get bigger rooms and things like that, why not? And I also discovered that they have rooms that can accommodate up to 6 people now on this ship. So that's cool. And it's like, it literally has like its own little like cubby room where you have an actual bunk bed in there. So you have the traditional regular bed, sofa bed, then you have a little cubby area, I don't know what you would call it, or a little nook area that has an actual bunk bed. So you can accommodate 6 people, which is nice for people who have larger families.
Right. So now the technology that they have on the ship. Of course, to give context, people who've been on older ships in the cruise industry, and even some people who've been on ships that were older and refurbished to newer ship, and then being on a ship that was built in the new technology world, you can tell the difference.
Yes.
Because some of the older ships that are older, of course, they don't have all the technology now, you can tell. But even when they try to upgrade older ships, you can tell they try to fit technology into something that wasn't built for technology.
Yeah.
But the ships that are built for technology
is designed
completely different. From my experience, the newer ships handle the internet packages better.
And I didn't get like the premium plan.
Yeah, just the basic. You still
get
text.
The whatever the first tier of that internet plan is. I got this so I can be able to maybe check emails, check social media, post things if I wanted to. I wasn't making calls, but I was getting text messages, and I thought that was really amazing. No matter where I was on the ship, I didn't feel like it was lagging too much. The chat was included. I didn't have to pay extra $5 a person to be able to communicate with the people in my group. I'm just saying it was included.
That's a good
but
feature.
I mean, now to be fair though, I paid more for this package than I pay on another package too.
That's true.
So it's a little bit more pricier, but that's just the overall of a Royal Caribbean or celebrity experience. It's a little bit more higher end, so you're going to pay a little bit more of an increase.
I personally think their app works better, and it's more aesthetically pleasing as well. But also, the only thing I think is different from which I wish they had similar to Celebrities app, which of course Royal Caribbean owns both. Is like if you pay for internet package for one phone on Celebrity, all you have to do is go to the app and say, you know, I want to take over the internet now, put the code in.
You can share that.
But with Royal Caribbean, we had to do a whole, I don't even remember what the process
You would have
was.
I would have to do something where I get like a passcode or something.
Yeah,
like it's like a 4-digit code, and I had to tell you what the code was every time he wanted to take over to use the internet on his phone. Yeah, that was slightly inconvenience. But it wasn't horrible. It just was let me look up the code. Okay, here you go. You can take over for a little bit. When I took it back, I didn't have to get the code because it was on my phone. Like I purchased it on under my name. But for him to use it and to share the device, and of course we can't use it consecutively. Like he uses it and then I don't have access while he's using it, which is fine because that's usually how we do it anyway. Right. Also, on the technology tip, they do have these new, and I think Carnival Horizon has them too, but this is our first time using the smart elevators, where basically you just basically select what floor you need to go to, and it gives you what the elevators were labeled by letters, and it tells you what letter to go to.
Now let's take a look at the ports of calls we visited on our 4-day cruise on the Utopia of the Seas. One port that we went to is Nassau, Bahamas. From what I hear and see a lot on the forums, a lot of people are tired of Nassau. A lot of people don't get off the ship in Nassau. I get it, but Nassau is one of my favorite places to go as a ship person. And the reason I say that is because when you go to Nassau, more than likely there's 4 or 5 different ships there. And that's one of the most beautiful things that I love about cruising in general, is getting off a ship and you're in between 2 ships. But also I think we were in port, there were 5 or 6 ships. It
was a lot of ships.
When we got off in Nassau, we didn't do too much of anything.
No, I really just wanted to explore the port because this was my first time there since the renovation.
I've been there.
And then also, we didn't have it, like I said, we didn't do any extra excursions or anything with this ship. I like the way they set it up, set up the port. They have the Junkanoo Museum there. They have spots where, you know, just like any other port, you can get your excursions. You can board your excursions there and stuff. But we didn't really go too far out the gate. We had the kids. We wanted to make sure we stay safe and things like that. So we just kind of explored inside the port area. And it was cool. We went back to the ship. Because that ship is so vast, I understand why people would be like, I just go and stay on the ship. Because
usually when we're on a large ship, especially if we have the kids, we try to strategically on port days go a little earlier and experience what we want to see and get back so the kids can enjoy the pool, or we can enjoy other things with most people off the ship.
Yeah, when everybody is pretty much off the ship. But it's trickier on a port like Nassau because that's a port day, like you said. But even though it's a lot of times people don't get off, a lot of people still do.
Yeah,
and it's still, you know, they was able to enjoy the pool
the pools are less crowded and it's more you can relax and not worry about.
And I think that was also the day we did laser tag too, so we had a lot of things going on that day. So we went to the port, walked around like an hour or so, came back to the ship, did the pool, went to the laser tag, got ready for dinner. Like it was I think the kids went to the kids camp for a little bit too. We got a lot. We really
we got a lot done.
We worked the life out of this itinerary.
We're efficient with this.
Very efficient.
Coco. Okay, so for context, Coco Cay has been an island on my list since I began cruising. And I think it was a great time. I think it would have been even better time if we would have got to certain parts of the island earlier. So when we first got off, we really didn't know much about the place. So we was kind of walking around, kind of feeling our way through
trying to figure out what spots on the island we wanted to try out that were complimentary.
And it wasn't very hot that day. It was
very windy,
lukewarm and windy, but it was still, a beautiful day. But we got to a part where we had, found a little pool, and because it's not that hot, we still let the kids get in the pool. We kind of found food. The food was pretty decent on the island. Of course, it's probably the same buffet food on the ship. But the food was pretty decent. We let them, get in the pool a little bit. Then once they got out, we dried off. Then we walked around. And actually, we were kind of exploring and getting content. And then we stumbled upon, was it West?
South. It was South Beach.
South Beach.
I was looking for it. He stumbled upon it. I knew where we were going. but yeah, so we basically, just to give you an idea, we started off, like he said, we got off the ship, walked around, then we went to Chill Island, which is basically just like literally what it says. They have an enormous amount of beach chairs, so you don't have to worry about I got to get there early to get a chair. Trust me, it's plenty of chairs everywhere you go. And then so even though the ocean was ice cold, so we was not doing that. So then we left the Chill Island.
Yeah, we did try that.
We left Chill Island and then we went over to the Oasis Lagoon, which is a pool, and we was hoping because the pools on the ship was heated, Oasis Lagoon was heated. It was not, but it was nowhere near as cold as the ocean. So the kids got in there for a little bit. I got in there with them. We went to the Chill Grill. I think it's the Chill Grill right outside Oasis Lagoon. We ate lunch, like he said. And then I was like, content, right? And then we walked around. I was like, I want to go to South Beach because I knew South Beach was where they had the snack shack and the basketball courts. And just, I wanted to see it because I'm here. And I don't know if I'll be able to come back when. And we definitely probably should have went there first. I recommend South Beach. I feel like on a day, now that may be a day where if it's much warmer and people really want to do a beach day, that may fill up first. Because it's complimentary. It feels
like Venice Beach.
Yeah, it has all these different things you can do right there, like volleyball, basketball. It has like little large Jenga and Connect Four. All kind of activities. The snack shack where you can get, like, they had chicken sandwiches. Churros. Was it churros? Or was it mozzarella sticks and funnel cakes? That's what it was. Mozzarella sticks, funnel cakes, and they didn't have the Coke Freestyle machine.
That's what they did.
They did?
On the end of the thing where the drinks was. It was on the end.
Okay, but they also had the regular drinks there. Yeah, the fruit punch and the lemonade as well.
That Coke machine, hate to see her come.
so they did have it. I must just wasn't looking for it. But other than that, it's a really cool spot to be, and I can see us going back there and spending the
entire day there
and letting the kids have a beach day and having a good time. And then they also have the stuff that's not complimentary, like the thrill park and stuff with the water slides, the hot air balloon, things like that. And I'm sure you can do excursions on that island as well. But yeah, Coco Cay, I get the hype.
I definitely go back when it's warm.
Definitely go back when the ocean isn't ice cold, and also just on a better day.
Now, the worst part of the cruise, Debarkation. Your long-awaited cruise is now over. So the debarkation process, I don't even remember because it was so fast and easy. I'm very impressed with Royal Caribbean's process, efficiency in their process, on and off. Given it 6,000 people, it didn't feel like it. Now, the worst part of any debarkation process, and I think my wife would agree, is catching an elevator. It's always rough.
Yeah, especially when you don't. I'm sorry, I didn't cut you off. No, but especially when if you don't catch it in a certain window.
Yes.
So we had the self-assist option, which is basically at some point in your cruise, they send you a little message or a notification in the app to go ahead and choose your time if you want to get off on your own, because we carry our stuff off. We don't leave our stuff outside the room. It's just easier for us that way to just walk off with our own things.
Not that we don't trust them. It's just easier.
No, it's just easier. I mean, even with the kids, because the kids carry their own stuff. So we woke up early. We got some breakfast. Came back to the room. I think my husband brought some stuff back to the room or something that day.
Bacon or something.
So, and then we got ready to get off. And so we were like in that window. I think our thing was 7:45 ish or 7:30, but we was like, we have 2 families and 4 kids, 4 adults. Sometimes you gotta make sure everybody's on the same, because we had a 8 o'clock time to catch our shuttle. So we're like, we need to be off the ship. We're trying to get through the thing at 7:30 because we don't know how long we're gonna take to get through customs and all that stuff.
No time at all.
But you don't know our first time, so we don't want to assume, because we had a scheduled time to be picked up. And so with cruise control, and they are amazing, by the way, but I'll talk about that in a minute. And so we got off the ship. I mean, we got to the elevator. We had to wait a couple rounds, so we ended up splitting up and we'll just meet at deck 5.
Once again, as we've said in reviews before, in those days, I mean, at that time when elevators are crowded and busy, sometimes it's better just to get on an elevator that's maybe going down or maybe going up,
and that's the thing,
and then riding it down to where you need to go.
And the thing about the elevators that are smart, if you just go in the elevator, you have no idea what floor is going to. And once you go on the inside, you can't select the floor. You're just watching the numbers.
There's no buttons on the inside. It chooses only on the outside of the elevator. So
you have no idea what this floor is.
You're at the mercy of the elevator.
And hopefully at some point somebody chose 5. Right. But because everybody's trying to get off, most
More
people did.
likely.
And so but that wasn't hard at all. Once we got through the elevator, we met up in deck 5, and literally they had rows on each side of the ship, because it was one at where we were and one at the other end of the ship. And I want to say it was like 5 or 6 different options where you literally go through and swipe your card to get off the ship.
You don't.
So it was no line, basically, almost. And if it was, the line was so efficient that you maybe stood there for maybe a minute. Maybe.
Because we don't have an issue with lines. We have an issue with just standing still in lines.
Yes, when the line don't feel like it's moving. And so we literally got to the thing, scanned our stuff, and we walked off the ship, walked down. Our friends, their kids didn't have passports, so they had to use the birth certificate line. So, but we split off. We went our way, they went their way, and we still met right back up with each other. And we were, and literally, as I'm walking off, I hear the man is calling me, telling me he's arrived. So we was like, it was seamless and perfect. And so, and then we did this time around, because our flight was so late in the afternoon, we did use day use. I don't know if you ever used day use before, but day use is a way to get a hotel room for a day stay.
Not sponsored.
It's not sponsored at all. But hey, it was cool, and you can select your hotel. It gives you a list of hotels that offer it. You can select the one you want. They give you a rate for the day.
We have found in our experience a day rate, a hotel that offers day rates is pretty useful when you don't want to just be out in the world with your luggage and suitcase sitting somewhere. Where if you want to spend the extra money just to stay in a hotel room, even if you just want to sit there and some type of privacy, those day rooms, you can get some work done, you can catch up on whatever's going on, and it provides an option, flexibility to just wait around until whenever you're trying to wait on.
Their debarkation is pretty smooth. I'm not gonna, especially when you have your passport. The lines are usually moving pretty efficiently. And then the key also is that self-assist. If you're a person who can just walk off with your bags, that is literally what saves you time, because sometimes you have to wait until your bags are ready before you can even get off the ship. So you're just kind of hanging out waiting. But if you could do the self-assist, whenever you're ready, you just walk off the ship.
And I think that's the part that we didn't necessarily mention, but the reason those debarkation and embarkation processes are so smooth now is because of technology.
Yes, the facial.
Because when I first went on cruises back when I was in college, you had to stand in these long lines for customs, and you have to give them your documents, and they look at you, make sure you are you. But now you walk up and it just scans your face and you're gone. So technology has made a lot of these processes with biometrics and things, made it so much easier.
Absolutely. So, is Utopia of the Seas the world's biggest weekend? Now, technically, we didn't go on a weekend. We went on a 4-day, which was Monday through Friday. But because they're doing these short leg sailings, they're calling it all the world's biggest weekend. So you can either do a 3-day or a 4-day. We did the 4-day. I will say that overall, I was entertained. I did things I never done before on a cruise ship. I enjoyed the food. I enjoyed the entertainment. But I do feel like it's still missing a little something to feel
like the world's biggest.
To feel like if they're going for more of a party fun vibe, some of that kind of was missing a little bit. I think it's just like it feels like they're almost there. But I'm also curious if you do a weekend one, like an actual true weekend, like the 3-day to Friday to Monday, if it's a different vibe. Some things where they did like decades parties and stuff, and we didn't go to them, but we watched them on the television when they replayed it back. It felt like they were trying to. Carnival definitely is the fun ship.
They have mastered it because that's their demographic. That's what they focus on.
And I think that's part of it too. People who go on Royal Caribbean are not always the same people who go on Carnival.
It looks like Royal Caribbean is working to fine tune that experience, because I mean, to be honest with you, one of the things that I love the most about cruising is the sail away party, when it feels like everyone is here to enjoy themselves. Definitely enjoyed it.
It was entertaining. It just wasn't as exciting. It didn't like get me as hyped for a cruise as I was hoping.
And the way I judge whether the sail away party is banging or not is really it's really the amount of people I see engage and the dancing. You know, they always play the wobble, something like that. And the more people I see engaging, it's like, yeah, we on vacation. But when you see like most people like not engaging or participating, it's kind of like,
And I think that just goes back to the demographic.
yes.
But overall, I would definitely do it again.
Yes.
I just think they're tweaking it a little bit, and I have heard that Royal Caribbean is going to make a lot more of their ships
Shorter cruises.
on these short legs.
I'm not mad about the Oasis class ships being on shorter sailings, because some other brands, their shorter cruises are ships I don't want to go on, just to be honest with you.
So we'll see how it goes. I would love to do a back-to-back. I mean, just to see what it feels like, because I feel like I didn't experience some of the things we did. I would love to experience twice. I would love to do laser tag more than once. I would like to maybe see the aqua show more than one time. So like things like that. And when you go on the shorter sailing, you feel like you don't have the time.
Well, you feel like you have to rush and do everything.
Yeah, and so, or also I can take a leg and do all specialty dining, things like that. Things that we didn't get to do. We didn't get to go to a lot of karaoke and stuff like that because we
had kids.
And I mean, because there's so many things to do, it's hard to, you cannot do everything in 4 days. You just cannot. So I would probably just do a whole leg where I don't even get off the ship. I think it's a great weekend cruise.
Agreed.
For family, couples, girls trips, group trips. It's definitely a good opportunity to explore a nicer, larger ship without having to go super far. Bahamas, Coco Cay, you don't have to spend a lot of extra money. You can literally just book the cruise and enjoy everything that comes complimentary along with it.
You don't have to take off work 7 days.
Yeah, you can literally just go Friday to Monday, or you can do the Monday through Friday selling if you wanted to. But if you're looking to do that, I'm a travel agent and I'm your girl for the job. So if you're looking to try out the world's greatest weekend, Utopia of the Seas, you can find me at creativedreamvacations.com. I'm also on Facebook and Instagram at Creative Dream Vacations.
And for future reference, for all the other reviews we'll be doing on different ships we've been on, please follow, like, and share.
And remember to dream big, work hard, and you can achieve great things.